Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Clay, and today is Saturday, and actually you can see grass. How about that, Minnesota? But anyways, it's project day. So this is my Strat. Love this thing with burning passion. Tried to sell it once, and it was a horrible idea, so I'm never trying that again. But she's not perfect. And my biggest complaint has always been with this, my bridge pickup. And, you know, in general, that's never really been the forte of Strats. So, you know what, we're going to embrace it, and we're going to compensate for it, and we're going to overcome. In the spirit of Martin Luther King, we're going to overcome. So, this was my Lenny Fralin bridge pickup, vintage hot with the base plate. It was actually the best sounding Strat bridge pickup, and I really liked it for what it was. And that sound is very cool. It almost kind of had this like telly thing going on, which I can imagine is the case because of the bridge plate. I think that really helped a lot. But I've got a telly, and you know, in general, for what I'm going to be playing, I need this guy. This is actually from my PRS. This is I swapped out the McCarty's for the GFS Mean 90s, which I have really enjoyed. But this bad boy is going in here. So just kind of wanted to like document my venture into Eddie Van Halen Frankenstein territory. And yeah, I'm probably doing this all wrong. I don't really know. I don't know, I guess my game plan isn't like foolproof, so we're going to give it a shot, and I'm going to let you know how it works, and if you're thinking about doing the same, whether or not you should do it. See, one unique thing about this guitar is that it is a top route, or a rear route, so I don't have a pick guard. I've got everything open from the back here. So, I need to try my best to make it look cute. Now, in general, this guitar has never really been for cutes. I've got like a gold bridge plate, white hats, and black saddles, and white pickup covers, and silver. I mean, like, it's kind of just like a mutt, which I love about it. But I don't know, I don't want this route to look all ganky, so we're going to do our best. Now, my tool is this bad boy here, the Dremel, and I got this, like, hardcore screwing mechanism. So we're going to give it a shot. Alright, so I'm just about ready to start drilling, and I guess to explain what I'm thinking. So I've already drilled 3 holes, but I'm going to drill one more in the corner. And also going to drill some holes here, because the screw kind of needs a little indentation. And then possibly like try and like outline it, and then maybe try to like come at it from this angle, so I don't have to just like sand away this massive block, but try to like be smart about it and like maybe take it from the outside. So that's my strategy. I will report back, let you know how it worked. Alright, so first update, I put some tape down over top of the pickups, and the thought process behind that was to avoid all this from getting in there, and that was a great choice. As you can see, I've only done a little bit, and I've already got all this dust. And I maybe should have done the same thing over here, but I didn't, and we're gonna have to deal with that. But yeah, in general, one thing that I'm trying to work on is not like sanding it, but actually like cutting it. And I think that I'm kind of just like burning the wood as well, which probably isn't good. So I'm gonna maybe use a different attachment and see how that works. Alright, so update again. This seems to be the dude that's having the most success. It's pretty coarse sandpaper, and then I stick it on the highest speed. It seems to do a good job of eating away. However, one thing that concerns me is that the eating tends to be creating a lot of friction, which is kind of like burning. And yeah, I don't really like the burning. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I don't want it to burn. I want it to eat away. So maybe, I think if I am a little more patient with it, I think that will help. So I'm going to try more patience. Well, that's Philly. Alright, to infinity and beyond. Alright, so I've been applying a new technique. First things first, I changed this thing out. This one was getting pretty worn down. So I put on a new one. And as you can see, I'm not burning it anymore. Well, a little bit there. But the big reason why is because what I was doing before is I was just kind of like pressing into it, and it would be spinning, and it would just kind of like pushing. And then it would always like kind of start to smoke a little bit and then turn black. But the point there was constant continuous pressure with the wood. And what I have been doing now is kind of like more like continuous jabs. So kind of going like instead of like a. So kind of like going in and out, and like taking off little like shades at a time. And that seems to be doing a much better job of actually like scraping away the wood instead of actually just like burning it. So I think that is really helping. I'm gonna continue on. Alright, so I think I might be done. This is the route. Now, it was a little bit difficult to get the dog ears as they're squared, where I'm using a round tip. So that's probably not going to be perfect, especially this one. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It fits. Everything's going to sound pretty good, I think. I'm really excited. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Now, one thing to note, I have a ton of dust and it got pretty messy. So if I was going to do this again, I definitely would go outside. But I don't know, this apartment complex, I don't know where the outlets are and everything. So I was doing the best I could with what I have. Overall, the Dremel is a champion. I mean, oh, sorry, I'm getting shaky. Using this little tip and making sure that I had constant movement. That I wasn't just... Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can maybe display that technique here for just a moment. I don't know how well this is going to pick up, if at all. But we're going to try it. It's going to get loud, so good luck. But to have constant movement was really helpful. But yeah, now this Strat's going to be sounding like I always wished it would. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to compare it to, I had a Seymour Duncan JB Jr., a single coil sized humbucker in there previously. I'm excited to see how the PRS McCarty stands up against it. Heard some pretty good things about it, and I'm pretty excited. So we're going to see if I can get it cleaned up, and maybe I can get a sound clip in today. See ya.